well. Oh, all
Mm.
of a sudden, my screen changed.
Uh-oh. Oh,
No, no, I think it's all good. I don't think it's you. Let's see who
huh.
else we got in the chat. We got Kristen Kruger. Hey, oh, I'm so glad that you could make it today. That's so lovely to see you. Um, let's see. Just going to flip through here. Make sure I got everybody. Kristen. Oh my gosh, Kristen, thank you so much. I really appreciate your support. It's a new year and new expenses coming up like
Oh yeah.
StreamYard and Zoom and my website. And I pay for the YouTube premium so I don't have to deal with all the commercials. And yeah,
Right.
and X so that I would get my blue check mark. Rumble so they know I'm cool. And, thank you. Thank you so very much for helping me out. That's awesome. Uh,
Yeah, and I tied into my audience too, so you might have a few extra weird
oh,
stragglers in there.
awesome.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
that
also
would
on
be great.
X. I'm on X and I'm on my regular one. So you're on X right now with my channel and my regular channel. Yeah. So
So,
you
what
got
is the name of your regular channel? It usually comes up as, I can't
oh
remember. I'm sorry. Tell
no,
us
I
because I
gotta
want
think
people to
about it.
find you.
I gotta think about it myself. it's
Now, I don't know if I
uh
said hello to
uh,
Helena. Hi, Helena.
what is the name of my channel?
I don't know.
Oh,
I'm
oh
sorry, but I want people to
no.
be able to find you.
Oh,
You're very entertaining.
yeah, I'm trying to think of it. Give me a second. Because I had so many channels. I've had so many channels in the past that I had
Yeah,
to keep because they kept kicking me off every time I kept talking about, especially Smithsonian stuff. As soon as I started
yeah,
talking about Smithsonian stuff, I'm gone. My channel was taken down. It was just wiped out when I started talking about all certain things at Smithsonian. It was gone.
yeah,
Like I wouldn't even
yeah.
allow it to be on YouTube anymore. I had to go under incognito just to be here. So
I got a theory, and I know, like maybe nobody out there is gonna see things from my perspective, and I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just saying I got a theory. And there is so much evidence. I know I always bug you about the Giants, and don't worry, you
no,
don't have to say
no, you
anything
can
about
ask
the Smithsonian.
anything you want. I am,
Okay,
I always tell people, I always remind people, there is no secrets from the Smithsonian. There was no paper signed that says I can't talk about it. In fact,
okay,
Bob,
awesome.
like Bob Lazar has the same example. Everyone's like, well, Bob Lazar can't be talking about it. He didn't sign any paper saying he can't talk about it. That's why he does. That's why he's alive. Yeah, I
Ah,
can't. I
yes.
can.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, bless your heart. So I noticed I've been watching some shows where they showed photography when the camera first got so-called invented, and I think
Mm,
it was in the around 1800, around the turn between the 1700s and 1800s, early in the 1800s,
oh
I
yeah.
think. And they took a lot of pictures,
Yeah.
and these pictures are long before AI. Now I know we got a lot of bogus images because of AI, but these are originals. And there was
Yeah.
giants with people our size next to them, and it looked like almost like they were regular parts of families, and they were really common. There's so many pictures. Well, you tie that in with all of these Romanesque cathedral type buildings that look almost the same all over the world, and then the megalithic stuff, and which makes sense that they were built by giants because that's it would take puny humans a long time. But I was wondering, what if we got the story backwards? What if we are the little tiny people and they are the normal people? And I think it
Yeah.
also has something to do with the oxygen content, which has
Yes. I
changed
was
throughout time. And
correct.
I'll let you speak to that if you want. But I really am starting to think that us, the little people, I think there was a reset about 300 years ago, and I
Yeah.
think they cleared everything, and the giants split to other lands. Let me just put it that way, because that's another sort of side topic. And oh, we're all the puny people that are left, and we're given our chance to see if we could, how we could do in this world of ours, which might be like a habitat, might be experimental. I don't know. But anyway, I'll zip it and let you give us your 2 cents on, do you think we got it backwards, that we're the puny people and they were the normal? Or what's your take on that whole thing?
Well, yeah, depending on the environment that you live in. I mean, you're subject to the environment you live in. That's just a fact. That's what we are. People with melatonin, certain skin colors are from below the tropical belt because of vitamin D deficiency. Or no, excessive vitamin D. And above the tropical belt is where the Europeans have less vitamin D, so they have vitamin D deficiency, and you need it for your immune systems. So we're adapted to the environment that we're from. Genetically, that's how it works. So the giants were genetically adapted to the environment they came from, which is high oxygen. More oxygen you had because in the past you had a lot of oxygen. I mean, way more oxygen. And for people who want to know more about that, you can look up the research studies they've done at the universities when they've taken piranha. I've talked about this before. They've taken piranha, which is, they live in the gooey swampies of nasties and down in South Americas where there's very, very, very little oxygen, So they don't get very large. And because the oxygen is so low, they have to eat to get their oxygen. They need to eat for their nutrients. That's why they have their little teeth. So as an example, when they took those piranha and put them into a case, at the university, and they did experiments where they've added more oxygen, and more food resources. What they found was that the piranha got bigger, and they didn't stop growing. They did not stop growing. With more oxygen, they just kept growing more and more. And because they had more oxygen and more things to eat, their teeth became more blunt, and literally they became vegetarians. They didn't have to eat meat anymore. As an example of high oxygen, the large dinosaurs, all the large reptiles, and all the large creatures of the time were big because of the high oxygen content. And humans that lived in that time would have been huge. And in fact, the giants, when they do the testing, believe me, I was there. They bore a hole. They do a little hole. They take the bones and they remove it and they look for oxygen content, and it shows high oxygen, which means they came from a high oxygen environment. And also their telomeres, giants' telomeres. If you guys don't know what a telomere is,
oh yeah, I do.
Telomeres.
No, go ahead for the audience. Yeah,
for the audience. Think of a set of books. You got a bunch of books. You put your books, and you got 2 bookends. The 2 bookends hold all the books. Inside of there are all the books with all your information about who you are, where you come from, your genetics, right down to your eyebrow color, everything. It's right there. The telomeres keep it together. And once your telomeres start to erode, that's when you get old. You're getting older because your telomeres are starting to waste away. Telomeres. So that's age. Your telomeres are rotting away, and as they deteriorate, your DNA starts to unravel, and you're getting older and older and older. Now, what they also found out was these giants, their telomeres were much stronger, and so they lived for upwards of over 800, 900. They don't know, maybe over 1,000 years. Could be 2,000 because of the calcium layers within the bones and the high oxygen content. So it's telling them that they lived much longer. They've lived much, much longer because of the high oxygen content. Now we have low oxygen. We have, what is it? 15%. Now it's mostly hydrogen, not hydrogen, but mostly all the other gases, and we have a very small amount of oxygen. People don't realize that, because when you're in school and everyone's talking like, what do you breathe? I breathe oxygen. Yeah, you breathe a trace amount of oxygen. Just a trace amount of oxygen. You breathe more other gases than you do oxygen. Oxygen is one of the smallest ones. So we're small. our telomeres rot faster because of the other
Mm-hmm.
gases. We live to 100 years. Whoopie doop, maybe if you're lucky. Depends on what you eat, whatever your environment, whatever. It's not good.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't live very long.
Mm-hmm.
They lived clean over 1,000 years or so. So they got bigger, just like the piranha. They got bigger and bigger and bigger. Body proportions got larger, skulls get larger. Another sign of early humans is the brow region here.
Mm-hmm.
And people notice that, okay, so they look at the brows that's big, like a Neanderthal or the Denisovians or all the other whatevers. It gets big here because of their age. That's how they can tell an age. So if you have a skull that's a Neanderthal, first thing they look at is the brow ridge. So if it has a big predominant brow ridge, that means that he lived to be old. He's old. That's a sign for aging. So that's a sign.
Another thing I have to look forward to.
Yeah, your brow
I'm
ridge.
just kidding.
I
don't know.
So so the giants were old, very, very old, and it kind of corresponds with the mythos of the people of renown could live over 800 years, like in the mythos of the Bibles and all the other religious stuff. Well, that's not wrong. I mean, in the world of science, that'd be correct. So there's kind of your nutshell of giants. Yeah.
Very cool. Well, look who we have here. Hi, Eric. Oh my God, so good to see you. No, it's all good. We've been talking about I presented a theory I have where I recently saw a show where they had a lot of photographs. This is just shortly after the camera was invented. And they went out and they took pictures of all kinds of things. And there's a lot of pictures of ordinary sized people next to giants. And these are not AI. These are really old photographs, and somebody got them all together and did this sort of little documentary show. And I was wondering, maybe we got it backwards, because you know how you see some tree stumps that look like mountains, and we see evidence that there were giants. Maybe we're the puny little beings, and maybe they were the normal size because it seems to fit better, with these huge tree stump mountains and all kinds of things we see that are huge, and we're just puny. And then your brother just finished explaining to us about telomeres and why the giants live so long, and that they are a real thing. And today we have much less oxygen. And I don't know, but before we get on to more of this, Eric, do you want to tell people your channel has changed? Do you want to tell people what you're doing on your channel now, and we'll come back to this?
It depends on what channel you're talking about.
I don't know. I haven't talked to you for over a year. So
the original paranormal channel, I was gone almost about 9 months. Medical stuff. It just, life happens, and then Bob kind of took over that channel because he got in trouble with his channel. And then at the same time, when I couldn't go live, I had a music channel that I started putting shorts out and stuff like that. And then for some reason, I can't explain it. Bob can't explain it. That little music channel has exploded.
Yeah.
I mean,
wow.
I mean, it just went like, how? And I can kind of see how, because when Bob and I on the regular channel talk paranormal, people would listen. They're all there, right? But as soon as Bob and I talk music or movies, people gone. They leave.
Aww.
They do.
But you got a new audience with your music channel then, right?
Heavy metal channel.
Well, what's nice is it's just a group that gets to talk about not being criticized by the outside noise. Kind of like, paranormal stuff, Bigfoot stuff, you get criticized by the outside world. And there's a certain music genre that gets criticized too. So it's just kind of nice to talk to people who like the same things you do. It makes it more enjoyable, more fun. But now, since I'm at a place in my life where I'm from work wise, I'm retired from have to go to a 9 to 5, so I can go back into doing live shows, which Bob and I have been doing.
Yeah.
Lately, 2 shows a week, and just yesterday or Monday I couldn't, and tomorrow I couldn't. I'm probably going to rebroadcast this for the paranormal show tomorrow, since I got to drive from here to Spokane.
Oh,
you talking about giants. I mean, you can't talk to a better person, honestly, than Dr. Wu himself. A man who worked at Smithsonian.
Oh, yeah.
Who have seen the large bones. So it's not
I've seen a lot of stuff.
Like we're evaluating pictures, like if the picture's real or not. I mean, he's seen the bones.
Yeah.
Because I'm no expert about cameras and stuff, but I was mentioning this on my other channel one day, that even with modern day cameras, without even doing any AI, sometimes you can, I'm not saying fake things, but like, for example, I was telling people that I went on this other channel one time, and it was a UFO channel, right? So at nighttime, I took a picture with my camera of 2 airplanes, because I live by an airport. But the picture on my camera, the light was blurry. So I wanted to test out this group that I went on. I showed them these 2 pictures, and they're all like, no, that's a UFO. That's not an airplane. There's no way that could be an airplane. And I'm sitting here like, yes, those 2 are airplanes. I took them. I live by the airport, because. So what I'm getting at, even with modern cameras, sometimes pictures are not what they seem, because even though we're getting better 4K, 8K, you can still make a guess. So I'm guessing cameras back in those days can be misleading too, right? I mean, if you think about it.
There's a way to tell. There's a way to tell if it's fake. It's classic.
Well, I know modern day, you could check the data of the SD card to see if it was false, if it was changed.
I'll give you a sure way of doing it, because when I was taking anthropology, there's a whole things. You got a lot of classes you could take on different things. I took photography. So I did the old black and white photography, the old back room with the back lights, and it's all dark and you're in the dark doing your stuff. I took that class. So when you're looking at old, this is really important. Somebody write this down with a number 2 pencil. When you're looking at old pictures, I'm going to give you an example of the old cowboys, all the old cowboys. Those were still pictures. So that means
in the right part of the bodies.
Yes. Those are still pictures, which means A, you can't move. Don't move. That's why the old joke is you never see anybody smile on them pictures, because you got to smile like 10 minutes. You got to sit there with a smile for a long time. And also like Billy the Kid, famous picture of Billy the Kid. And for the longest time, everyone says Billy the Kid was left-handed. Well, how do you know he's left-handed? The pictures are reverse. So when you see the old gunslingers in the pictures, you're going to see them, if they're right-handed, which is the common hand for most people, they're going to hold the rifle or the pistol in their right hand. But in the picture, it's reverse. They're holding it in their left hand. The pictures are in reverse. Now, in their left hand. Now, having said all that, when you're looking at a picture, the first thing you're going to say when you look at the picture says, "Oh, well, that cowboy was left-handed." Well, how do you know? He's holding the gun in his opposite hand, or he's holding the gun in this hand, because it'll always be the opposite. That's why for a long time, idiots were like, Billy the Kid is left-handed, and all the experts, photographers are like, nah, dude, it's in his right hand. All the pictures are reverse. They're reverse. He's not left-handed. He's right-handed. It's the reverse. So now, when I go back and I look at a lot of these old pictures, these ancient pictures of cowboys and all doing this stuff, they're holding their pistol in their right hand. I said, that ain't right. Statistically, he's not left-handed. He would make him left-handed. How would all these cowboys lined up be left-handed? One of them has to be, maybe one person's left-handed, but the majority are going to have right hands. So if they're all standing there with the wrong hand, holding the pistol in the wrong hand, you know that picture is fake. It's fake. Always look at a picture from the past as it is still picture and reverse. Also, you'll see old pictures of them riding horses. They're like riding horses, and they got the perfect picture of them riding a horse or doing something in action. You have to stand still. So you're not riding a horse taking a picture in the 1800s. You got to stand there
And you got to do the bright light, the powder.
Yeah. Yeah. And you can't move. So sometimes you'll see like a group picture of a bunch of cowboys and Indians or cowboys and settlers. Anyway, and they're like in a moving setting where everyone's kind of doing something. That ain't correct. That's fake. Because nobody can move in the picture. So now that your audience knows, whenever you look at an old Western picture and it's an action picture, it ain't real.
So what year would you say that changed for cameras where people can start to, okay, this is when the camera started to, the right is right, the left is left?
Well, that was like probably the end of the 1800s, more into the 20 somethings, into the late 20 somethings.
Okay.
You know, after the the century. At the end of the 1800s, around the Victorian time, yeah, they started getting some pictures. They started doing a lot. The Victorian time, let's face it, it was the hippie days. It was the days of enlightenment. Everybody was inventing things left and right. The espresso machine, it.
They sure were.
Yeah, beautiful time to be alive. Like the 60s, it was
like the 60s. I remember the 60s.
There you go.
That old.
Yeah. So yeah. So
and what Bob said is real. You always hear these stories that all these criminals in the cowboy days get their pictures taken when they get famously shot, because a lot of pictures shot, and you find out that's not true. There's only like 5% of people, famous criminals, get shot to get a picture taken, because most of these towns didn't even have a cameraman. You have to do a day ride to get a cameraman over there, because the question is, how come there wasn't a picture of Billy the Kid dead? Because there was no cameraman.
Well, and indigenous traditions,
yeah,
they don't take pictures. You're taking their soul. So when you see a picture of Chief something, Chief Wannabe next to Chief something, I'm just saying, not to put down, because the picture is fake. So that's why I'm calling it Chief Wannabe. That ain't real, because they wouldn't stand there and take a picture. You capture their soul.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, you don't take pictures of indigenous peoples. They'll have your ass on the ground.
What's funny about that is I have met and had on my show people who have invented scalar energy machines to help heal people, and all you do is send them a picture, and it works to improve your health from a picture. And so I'm wondering if the Aboriginal people were onto something. I don't know. Any thoughts?
Colors send the vibration. Depends on what color it is. You can look at colors. I joke about it. Colors, like when you go to the prison systems, the walls are pink. Pink suppresses your grr. It suppresses it. That's why a lot of prisons switch to the color pink, and their clothes are pink. And the color blue and all those lighter shade colors are more of a healing color. Red is a lower vibration. This red cap right here is a low vibration. So when you see red, it's a low vibration. Darker colors are low vibration, not good for healing. If you want to heal, look at pretty bright colors. Look at pretty colors. Look at the blue sky. Look at green. Look at things that are beautiful. Another thing is for vibrations. If you wanna go up to the mountains and go up to a ridge and look at the tops of the trees, and take a piece of paper and look at the tops of the trees and write them down as musical notes. You see what I'm saying? Write them down as musical notes. So when you're looking at a plateau of trees, think of it as a song and write down the notes for it. Because one of the old indigenous things, they would sit up there with their flutes and look at the tree lines, and they would play to the as they look across the tree line horizon, they're playing notes. It's another thing. Music brings up your vibration. Deeper music lowers the vibration. So same thing when you're talking about with your pictures. Depends on what's in the picture. It's going to help you or not.
Hey, I got a exciting little announcement.
Sure, go for it.
Bob and I are going to be doing soon. You know,
Go
Bob
for it.
back on the other channel. Bob and I went to the Sierra Mountains. You know, we did some filming. We put it out. Sometime in the week of February, Bob's coming back to Washington, and we're going to be doing several different investigations. We're going to be headed to the Olympic Mountains, where that's the king of Bigfoot sightings.
Yeah.
All parts United States. And we're going to be going back to a place called Black Diamond Cemetery, where we did a investigation before. We're going to do it again. We're going to try to bring some new equipment. And we'll probably do another UFO thing with the Mary Island stuff and all that.
Nice.
That's coming in within 2-3 weeks.
Well, I want
around the corner.
I want to hunt, Eric. I want to hunt the wood trolls.
The troll. We go visit.
Yeah, there's supposed to be 5 of them.
Now, when you say hunt, you mean to kill or just to get pictures of? No, I just want to clarify it for the audience.
A lot of times when we do investigations in the past, it's usually on a hunting trip, like a deer hunting trip and all that. And Bigfoot's like a side thing that we do. It's not that we're hunting Bigfoot. It's just most of the time we're used to saying we're going on a hunting trip, but we're not there to hurt Bigfoot. You know, we're I know how people can think that, but no, we're not.
No, I actually have a picture.
Karen, I don't know if you know this. In the state of Washington, it is considered manslaughter in the law if you shoot Bigfoot.
Interesting.
Yeah. And what makes it interesting, this is like an inside thing. I know most of the world don't even care. This year is the 50th anniversary when the Seattle Seahawks became a franchise in Seattle. What's the big deal about that? Well, when they became a franchise, they came up with 3 names, and one of the first original names was not going to be the Seattle Seahawks. It was going to be the Seattle Bigfoots.
Oh, interesting.
The football team was almost going to be called the Bigfoot. So it's kind of cool to do an investigation on the anniversary date and all that. It's kind of like full circle.
Very
I don't know
cool.
I don't know if you can see it. I put a picture of the wood troll. I don't know if there it is. We found one.
Wow.
So he was sitting in his chair.
They're big.
Yeah, they're big. Yeah, and then there's 4 more, Eric? 5 more?
There's a total of 5.
Yeah, we found one. We're gonna go find the other ones. Yeah. So that was me. He was pointing at, we're doing the old Michelangelo thing. We put his finger down. I was touching
the finger of God touching humanity.
That was on an island that the only way to get there is by ferry boat.
Yeah.
And if you don't get on the ferry boat on the way back by a certain time, you're stuck there overnight.
You're stuck.
There's no other way to get off unless you have a helicopter.
Hanging out with the wood troll all night.
That troll is near where the famous Mary Island happened, where the UFO apparently broke down.
Right behind
apparently parts. Some people say that because where that thing is, military went onto this island, and the story goes that what they grabbed from the island was actually an alien, and that's was part that was on that famous T-bomber that was going from Washington back to California, and somehow over Washington that T-bomber happened to crash and burn to the ground.
Gone.
Wow.
Yeah, I found a piece. I found a piece of that wreckage. So
yeah,
I have it. I actually have it.
And what we're saying is, you can all look it up. It's in the record book. Type in the famous Mary Island incident where the T-bomber crashed. It's all there. It's all.
I got it. I got a piece of the wreckage. It dropped these all over it dropped them all over the place. Ugh. They're fucking cool. Oh, sorry, but swear.
No, you can swear. I don't mind. I don't care.
So,
what Bob's talking about is, if anybody look at the famous Mary Island picture,
let me make you bigger. Hang on. Show that again. There you go.
So it's
wow.
Piece I found. I'm guessing this is like a time thingy.
It's a symbol. It's like
it's like a time.
It's almost like a
wow.
Well, it's a
timeline, and the timeline branched off.
Yeah.
It was branching off.
Or it's a pretty tree. I don't know what you guys want to say. It is a pretty tree, or it's a. I put a hole in it
with 8 eyes.
I put a hole in it so I can wear it as a necklace.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah, I wear it sometimes. Yeah, it's
Oh,
kind of
that is
cool.
really awesome. Thanks for sharing that. You guys are so interesting. I'm so
Well,
thrilled you came back to the show
Yeah.
because you have so much interesting information. I want to just say hi to Danny. He's out
Mr.
there in
Staten.
Viewerland somewhere. I haven't seen Danny Stanton for a
he's
long
from
time.
he's from South Carolina.
South Carolina.
Greetings from South Carolina. That's how he introduces
There-
himself. Greetings from South
Ah,
Carolina.
oh, that's awesome. Awesome. I've missed all you guys. When you get I have 3 podcasts and it keeps me on my toes because if it isn't doing the podcast, it's the sharing it out. I do everything myself, everything. And so I find it quite time consuming and I get tired, from working on the computer. So
Yeah.
sometimes I miss my friends' shows because I used to. The other thing is YouTube also is sneaky, man. The crap they put in my feed has nothing to do with the people I like that I've subscribed to. And I don't know what to say about all that, but yeah, I don't know what to. Oh, I just want to show this. Fearlessly says, because of what you showed us, I wonder if the dots match a constellation.
That's
I
what
don't
I'm
know.
figuring. Yeah, that's what I figured.
And what galaxy? Doesn't have to be our
Oh, there's
galaxy.
that too. There's that too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what I figured.
totally. So I want to get back to sort of where we started, but I want to let you finish. But I want to get back to where we started, where I was talking about my theory that we're the little guys, the giants are maybe the normals, and then put in another thing to consider, and that is Bigfoot. Now, I don't know if this is true, but I've seen some shows where they claim the government has actually put tranquilizers in meat, knocked out a female, and then ran tests on her, but left her alone. They didn't, capture her, do anything to her. When she woke up, she went. Apparently, there's footage and everything of that, but that might not be true. I mean, let's face it, not much seems to be true anymore.
If military's
But
gonna
I'm
knock out a
wondering.
Bigfoot, they're gonna take the Bigfoot and they're gonna study it. They're just not gonna knock it out and leave it alone.
I don't know. This was just what this guy was saying. And so what he says is that a Bigfoot is part human and the DNA, it results part human and part another kind of human. Like, how they had the Desovians? I don't know how to say it. Yeah. And we had Neanderthal, we had it was another one, and it interbred. It had to, because this is when I guess the big ice age or something came and survival depended on it. And then they've just kept themselves separate from humanity for really good reasons, as far as I'm concerned. What's your take on all that?
Well, they think it's a Gigantopithecus, which was basically King Kong. It was a huge gorilla, gorilla. And and they also walked on 2 legs and did all that stuff. And then they supposedly had died out, but they were built for the cold. They were built they were down in the tropics, but over time they can migrate their way up, and more colder it gets, more again with the environment, the smaller they got and the smaller it got. Now, this is a fact. This isn't some kind of conspiracy theory. This is facts. For example, these smaller islands in the Pacific culture, all the certain smaller islands, they had found traces of elephants. They've actually found woolly mammoths, but they were small, the size of a cow, and smaller. They were smaller and smaller. They found, and this is a fact. This isn't something we're making up. They found them. This is not something you got to go look for. It's out there. Information's there for you. Well, on these islands, less food, less resources. The larger you are, the quicker you die of starvation. The smaller you're born. So basically the runts survive on islands, and the big ones die on islands. Now in the mainland, the big ones live and the runts die. But on small islands and isolated areas, the runts live. The runts always live. And that's why I was on Java. In Java, they had the hobbits. I was there. So I was in East Timor, Indonesia, and we were doing excavations. This was the University of Washington. This is all fact. University of Washington. We found out that in Java, they just found traces of bones from hobbits. They call them hobbits. That's what the person who found them was a geologist. He wasn't an anthropologist, archaeologist. He was an amateur geologist. and he labeled them hobbits, and they're smaller subhumans. They were just humans that were small, and they would be small because of the island isolation of the island. The runts live. That's just how it works. So less resources, the runts live, and it goes right back to where you started from, Karen. That we're small now. Well, our ancestors were the runts. The bigger ones died for less resources and less oxygen. They died fast. The little ones won. The runts. And so over time, over thousands of years, the runts won. They won because we needed less food and less resources and all kinds of less stuff. And so we survived. The big ones died. But again, it goes right back to you're talking about the Bigfoot. They're large, but they're not that large. I mean, they're 6-8 feet. That ain't that bad. You know, they can survive with that. You know, resources wise in the forest, they could easily survive on nuts and berries and dead animals and stuff. So
yummy.
yeah. I mean, that's just it's just like eating roadkill, right? You're Canadian. Don't you guys eat roadkill? Isn't that part of your natural diet? Can you go to the restaurants and ask for that?
Right. Reminds me of the Beverly Hillbillies with Granny, and they'd stop their car and she'd scoop something off the pavement and throw it in a pot for supper. Hey, guys, before I forget, I want, can I change the subject for a minute?
Yeah, sure.
I want to ask you, based on what you know up till this point, all the shit that went down, it doesn't matter what genre, whether it's politics, religion, you name it, what's gone on, it's been a real mind bender. What do you guys predict for 2026? And you don't have to give a psychic premonition, just based on the trends and the patterns, what do you guys see coming?
Are you talking about like trends, like more sightings, more this, or more evidence?
Could be anything you want. It could be, you don't have to get into politics. That's a whole.
Oh, I know. But, Bob and I've talked about this before. It seems like every single year, everybody always says this is going to be the year. Better technology, better this, better that, and it's going to be the average. It's going to be the same. Because listen, I believe that
more shit, different piles.
Yeah, I mean, it's actually going to get kind of worse in some ways because the way technology has advanced, there's going to be more fake stuff more than ever. It's going to take even harder research to figure out what's real, what's not. Because if Bob took a picture of a real Bigfoot, he put it out, everybody's going to say it's fake. It's probably created by AI. So everything is going to be harder and harder and harder. And now social media, no matter what, it grows bigger. So no matter what, there's always more sightings more than ever. So I don't think nothing is really going to change. I mean, here we are, right? Everybody says, oh my God, the government's involved now. Look at all these UFO meetings they're having now on public, on TV. Has that changed? Nothing. Nothing has changed. Did they tell us the truth? No, they all dance around the question. And some of the stuff last year, I was laughing with Bob because you hear a senator. Okay, so after this meeting, you're going to tell me? Yes, after the show. They never told them. They never had meetings after that big meeting. I mean, everything is more like everything has become a show. It's more about recording, show, and all that. Like I said, not getting into politics. Here I am watching a video of a woman getting pulled out of a car, and everybody around there is not trying to help her. They're all got their cameras filming it because they all want their own claims.
Yeah.
So what's real and what's not? I think things are going to be the same. I just think it's going to be harder. But one thing I'm glad about is like when I go on investigation with Dr. Wu, at least I'm going out there with somebody who's a real archaeologist who has learned and studied and what's real, what's facts, and mixing it with science. You know, some people say science can't prove shit. No, science is very helpful. You just got to use it the right way. Nowadays, no agriculture, whatever they learn is from YouTube, and they're out there saying, I saw this and this.
Armchair philosophers.
Back it up with.
Armchair.
So I don't really think things are going to change. I think things are going to get worse, but things being more fake more than ever. That's just my opinion.
And Dr. Wu, what was your what did you say?
Well, I'm hoping for low cut jeans for females because I can't stand the granny pants anymore. I can't take that anymore. And
What? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. You want females to wear what? Say that again.
low cut jeans and bell bottoms. I think it's coming back.
Oh,
Can I
that
get
would
skinny
be
jeans for men, too?
right up my alley.
I think low cut jeans and bell bottoms will make their way back. That's my guess because we're all just getting tired of the granny pants, and and guys got to stop wearing them damn skinny jeans because I get it, but it's just come on, man, let's get the guys start wearing it. Hopefully I will start seeing dudes to start wearing regular jeans again that are just regular fits. And the women's will have low cut jeans with bell bottoms. And that's what I think the future is going to hold for us this year. I think that fashion is going to go that way. I appreciate it. I really do. I mean, that's what I want. And Eric's right about everything being fake. Deep fake is worse than ever. Criminals are now going to be getting off because of deep fakes. You're going to have a lot of high ranking elitists or people with the monies or whatever. Is all of a sudden they're going to have all kinds of leaked pictures with them with questionable aged others, and now they're going to say, oh no, that wasn't me with an underage child, that was simply a deep fake. And so the deep fakes are now going to be used to get the elites out of the troubles. And now we're going to have deep fake UFOs, deep fake basically it's going to muddy the waters for the bad guys. The bad guys right now, as we speak, right now, the courts are like throwing their hands up. We don't know if that's real. We don't know. Okay, so do you have footage on your outside cam so we could see the crime being committed? They're going to have this black and white footage of somebody floating in the sky and, all kinds of, it's all lies now. In fact, there are CEO, there was a famous CEO who just went to prison. Well, I don't know if he went to prison. He's probably not in prison. He went to jail because he has one of those deep fake apps on his computer. And he was just putting the gals that he liked, beautiful wise, and just putting their face on these images, giving them fake porn, basically making fake porno. Some of the faces that he was using is the reason why he went to jail, because they were underage. So he was putting Hermione, like Hermione, the age of Hermione during the Harry Potters on a face of someone nude. Stuff like that. And now he's in. Now his lawyers are like, no, it's not real. It's fake. You can't arrest somebody for fake stuff. So it's muddying the waters. So we're moving into an age now where artificial intelligence is dominant, and it's going to be harder to catch the bad guys.
Yep.
And you don't even know what you're watching anymore. The television that you're watching, you don't know if it's real or not. Eric has produced an album. Eric has produced a heavy metal AI album that we had sampled on his show. And if Eric were to send you the album, Karen, and not told you that it was AI, you would think, wow, dude, this is good. You would not know.
If you go to my paranormal channel, I put one of those songs on that channel
to prove it. Yeah,
do it. Prove it. And Karen, ask yourself this, Karen. How many people have you seen the last 5-6 years also they have top secret files?
Everybody.
And not one of them have been in jail. Why is that so important? If you got top secret files, you're going to be in jail. So the first thing I always look at, you got top secret files. Has this guy been in prison? Nope. He doesn't have nothing. I know some people say, well, they didn't arrest him because, then people will believe it's going to be real. It's going to be bigger than it is. No, it's not. If you have top secret files, you're going to jail.
Well, that's a myth. I want people to understand. Okay, I worked at Smithsonian, and Karen asked me about the Giants. I just told her straight up, I'll tell you this. And she's like, well, how the hell are you just saying it without getting in trouble? Because there are no papers signed. Again, Bob Lazar, the reason why he's running around saying whatever the hell he wants is because he's at Area 51. He didn't sign any paper saying he can't talk about it.
He's not showing paper. He's just telling the story.
Yeah, he's just telling stories. And he's not arrested. And
everyone's like, well, for that.
He can't be. So it's the opposite. So when people like whistleblowers can whistleblow, they don't have to sit in a courtroom and say, it's a non-biological entity or it's a non-human entity. They don't have to say that. They can say whatever the hell they want. No, it's a damn gray alien. And all aliens are not, they're born without male genitalia. That's a fact. They're all born basically female because they're not introduced to any male testosterone. So when they're made and they're produced, they're all born with a hoo-hoo, with no danglies. And so that's just the fact.
You mean they all have lady bits? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, they all have lady bits. Well, the majority of them, the small grays, they're all biologically female. Their organs don't work, but they're they have no danglies.
Okay, I got a question for you. Yeah. I think maybe the human species is female because it makes no sense why guys have nipples.
Well, everybody's born female. Males are only made by a certain stage where you're introduced to testosterone. Everything born is female at birth, and then it gets introduced testosterone, and then once it gets testosterone, then it starts growing the giggly boots, the tackle. It doesn't happen till later. So if you were to take a test tube baby and just put it in there and it has its zygotes and whatever gots, and it starts to make itself into whatever's, and you don't introduce any testosterone, it was just going to be born female. It's not going to have any male attributes at all.
It's the default. Yeah, they need and I believe that certain androgens have to be present in the mother in order for the genitalia then to descend and become external.
Yeah, so in fact, it's kind of unusual. We have in this time, unusually, there is starting to get more and more born individuals born with Klinefelter disease, like certain Klinefelter and certain other. What it is they have both male and female parts.
Yeah.
Now it's more now than ever, and in fact, C-sections are on the rise also. C-sections are major.
They become the norm
because of this is nothing to do with racism. This is anthropology. So when you've taken somebody from the Middle East or wherever, down to Africa, whatever, and you introduce them into a Northern European country where the guys look like this, and they have this little gal that they just, that an immigrant that moves there, young, they date, it's a normal, loving relationship. He gets her, they procreate, she has a baby. Baby can't fit through the womb. And this is becoming a large epidemic. Babies can't fit through the womb. And so they're having a C-section. So with this mass migration, you're also having a lot more difficulties. The human species, females are getting more C-sections, and it's not healthy. And babies are being born with sickle cell anemia, which is a combination of two extreme races. This has nothing to do with racism. People understand. This is anthropology. Yeah. So there's a huge epidemic with people being born with problems. Also, when you have an Rh positive male and an Rh negative female, the female without that shot cannot have a baby. She'll have a miscarriage. So a lot more children are being born with autism because of the shots. So we're having children with a lot of autisms. You're having a lot more C-sections. You're having more sickle cell anemias. You're having more dangerous diseases from fast mixing, not slow mixing, but fast mixing. This is an epidemic right now. And it almost feels like if I wanted to get rid of the human race, this is what I would do. I mean, I would introduce different groups of people at the same time, put them in the same room and see what you come out with. And there'll be a lot of death, a lot of suffering, a lot of diseases, a lot of problems. And this is what I'm seeing also, but this is statistics. This isn't a conspiracy theory. These are facts.
It makes sense, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they say my wife and my blood don't mix. So for us to have kids, she had to do the RH shot and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, and a lot of times, more often than not, the kids have a certain thing of autism. Kids are getting autism from those shots. Also, people were talking about having side effects from the jibbity jab. There's a lot of people with them problems too.
Yeah.
Forced jabs because they have actually changed everyone's RNA.
Well, that's
go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh,
I'm going to say something in a sec.
If you change someone's RNA, it's like going to IKEA. The cabinet is there. It's in a box. That's DNA. That's what it is. It's in a box. The RNA is the instructions, the IKEA instructions, and how to put it together. So everyone has now new IKEA instructions in their bodies if you've gotten the shots. And now you're introduced to an entirely new species of human. Literally. Anthropologists are trying to say to themselves, well, it's not. No, and there's a debate. No, by getting the jab, anyone who's gotten the jab, you got a new RNA. You're a new species.
Actually, to back that up, this came out in 2021. I was actually part of a system which was a natural and common law court, and we were doing research into the jabs and trying to find out what was going on and see if we could stop it, if we could stop it. And so we looked into all kinds of information. You'll never guess what we found. There's actually legal papers out of the US. I'm in Canada, so that's why I call it you guys the US. In it said that if you take mRNA, which changes your genetic code permanently, you are no longer considered a human being. Therefore, you are no longer covered by the Constitution and other rules and laws that would protect you. Now, I haven't heard anything about it, so maybe it was all BS. I don't know. Did you guys hear anything about that? So I think it's important, instead of us fighting against those that have had different genetics and those that are what I would call purebloods, I think it's better if we come together and support each other. That's all I wanted to say about it. But just wondered what your thoughts were about that.
Well, yeah, you just said it. I just said it, and then you just verified it.
Yeah. There's nothing more to say about it.
I just said it. We didn't have a conversation before the show. I just said it. And you're like, oh no. You're like, I heard the same thing. So technically, there's a debate about a different human species for those people who got the shots. You have a different your IKEA programming is now different. I've never gotten it. I refused to get it. I just didn't do it. I didn't care. I'm like, no, thank you. I went out. I got it on my own. Oh, go ahead.
There are some people in the chat who had to do it in order to keep their jobs, and some had to do it in order to have medical procedures. For instance, people who were undergoing chemotherapy who had cancer, they couldn't get their treatment if they didn't get it. So it's not. I don't blame anybody. I myself didn't because. I don't know. I just knew right away. I just knew.
But most workplaces make you do it, or you don't have to
my daughter had to get it done for work. And you know what? Her and her husband and their kids are sick all the time. Like all the time. Like every couple of weeks they're sick. And I feel so bad for them. Yep. But anyway, I don't know. Do you think there's a way of undoing that, or what's going on?
You got once the RNA is like, I mean, the original plans are gone. It's just gone. I mean, nothing anybody can do other than, just keep up a good diet, work out, eat good, just don't, just go about your business. Like I said, Eric had no choice. He worked at a medical place, so Eric had to get it. And in fact, it was fucking sad. Oh, that's language. It was sad because we had our show, the old Gypsy Road show. All of a sudden, when Eric had to explain to people, hey, I didn't have a choice, or I don't pay my mortgage, or feed my children. And everyone started turning on Eric
Yep.
and turning on the show. And I'm like, he didn't have a
No.
choice. He didn't have a choice, man.
Mhm.
You know, come on, everybody.
And,
This is
and if anybody goes to a VA hospital appointments, you will know that they'll sit you there and say, okay, time for 5 shots. And they're lining up all these shots. And you don't even know what they're giving you.
no, you don't know.
And they don't ask you, they're telling you you're getting it.
Yeah. I mean, I always tell them I just don't want anything. I don't get flu. I don't get anything because I have a really good. Well, I hate to say it. It's kind of okay. I'm gonna say it. It's not our fault. Eric and I are born the way we're born, but our mother was. She was 15 when she had my older brother. She was 16 when she had me, and I think she was 18 when she had Eric. So I was a product of young telomeres. I don't know how to say it. The younger the female, the stronger the telomeres are, and more resistant you are to all kinds of other things. And also, breastfeeding is really good for women to do, helps out. So I've just never got sick growing up. I'm the opposite. I'm completely the opposite. I don't get sick, so I just never wanted them. And I told them, nah, don't give me I don't want no flu shots. I want the flu. I always tell people, you want the flu. I went out looking for COVID. I was in Europe running around when it first hit, and I was trying to get it. I was out there trying to get it so I could get the immunity for it.
It makes your system stronger because
I wanted the
immune system against it.
Because our dad was so poor. Eric and I, our dad we didn't have a mom growing up. My dad was poor. We didn't have doctors. I don't remember going to a doctor ever as a child. Eric and I, we never went to doctors. Nope. So my dad's way was to go to the Bruja, and the Bruja would give you some herbal medicines. But other than that, the Bruja would set you up on a play date. So Eric and I would have play dates with other kids that are sick. So you go to the Bruja, and she sets up a play date. She's like, okay, all these kids here, some of them have
they all have chicken pox.
They all have chicken pox. So some of the kids have chicken pox. The other kids, Eric and I are like, we don't got no chicken pox. We're like playing with the kids with the chicken pox, just having
Same for me. When I was a kid, of course, our parents threw us outside to play, regardless how sick we were. If we complained of a problem, they always said, oh, you're just trying to get out of something, or you're just they were pretty hard on us, and they would throw us outside. But, we were encouraged to hang out with the kids that had the measles and the chicken pox, and we got all of it, one thing after another. And then my mom would go, okay, that's good. Chicken pox done. We don't have to worry about that in the future. Mumps done. Now measles. And nowadays people are freaking out. My God, there was 10 cases of measles in New York or something. And I'm going,
I'd be excited.
Oh my gosh.
I'd be like, oh God.
That cartoon episode when they were trying to get the kids all sick.
I'd be like, oh yeah.
Got the parents sick.
Wait, where are those kids at? Okay, kids, get your shit on. We're going to go play with them kids. What? We're going to go play with them kids. We found 10 of them down the road. They all got the measles. You guys are playing with them. I mean, that's how I was raised. That's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. You're supposed to put them in the ring together.
Tennessee, Kentucky Bigfoot says we had yard darts. We had bigger things to worry about. I don't know if you had them. You guys are younger than me, but I remember those lawn darts, and they were long and they were weighted, and we would just at each other. Oh my gosh. And our playgrounds, they were not like the playgrounds today either. So, but I guess only the strong survive. I don't know what to say about that.
BB gun suicide, where you everyone goes up to a wall, and everyone shoot the BB at the wall, and it ricochets, and see who hits who, and you like try to get people like playing a game, like shooting a BB gun at a wall and see if you can ricochet to hit other kids. Back in the day,
it was wild. I was born in the 50s, so I basically.
You don't look it at all.
Oh, bless your heart! I'm going to send you a check. No,
I'm
just kidding.
No, man, no.
I'm going to be actually in 4 weeks. I'm going to be 70.
Oh, no way.
I'm old, but that's okay, because what I really like about being old is I get to look at my life. I see what went well, what didn't go so well, mistakes I made, good things I I chose, and I can course correct today and make tomorrow better.
Yeah,
And
there
it's
you go.
awesome. And it's awesome. And I get to experiment with all kinds of things like podcasting and making all these beautiful friends on YouTube and Rumble. And oh my God. And by the way, please, if you haven't done so already, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm sorry. I have worked so hard, 10 years, guys. It took me 5 years to get my first 54 subscribers. And then in the last 5 years, I picked up 2,000 more, but I don't know. The algorithm does not like me.
No.
And that's okay. But anyway, and please, those of you who are part of my audience, please go over and subscribe to my friends here, because Dr. Wu and Eric Wood, and they got so much good content, really interesting stuff, and they're very entertaining. Very, very entertaining.
Well, take a grain of salt with mine. If you watch my night shows, I'm gonna not recommend it to people unless you got a pretty thick skin. Danny Staten knows, certain other people, and I think Daniela W's in there. She knows you got to be pretty thick skinned, because I get pretty tore up. So
actually, Danny's awesome. Sometimes I come on to watch your show and I'll put in a few comments. Danny will say, "Be careful, Karen. He's on his second, his second dozen beers, you know."
Yeah.
But you know, I'm not offended by anything you say, because, well, I'm just not. You know, I know you're not a mean-spirited person. I know you just go with it, and sometimes it's really entertaining. But like I said, YouTube does not put you guys in my feed anymore. I have to go looking for you, you know, and I don't think that it should be like that.
It is like that. I mean, you're right. YouTube. Look at Bob and I. We did the Gypsy World channel for 6-7 years, right? It took forever to get those subscribers, right? In less than 1 year on my music channel, bam. But paranormal stuff, no.
Yeah.
Why is that? I'm the same guy. I'm the same host. I just talking about this. I'm talking about that. Why is this goes here and this stays here?
I don't know. I see some channels and it's just slop. I mean, what they're talking about, what they're doing, it's just crap. I mean, it's their perspective. I probably shouldn't call it that, but it doesn't have any in-depth analysis or thought to it or anything. And they got, like, you know, 35,000 subscribers.
Yeah, that's how they rate it.
And 1,000 views. And then these old people get on there and go, "This is how I made a fortune on YouTube." And I'm going, no, doesn't really work that way. I don't know. Do you guys get enough to even cover your expenses? I don't yet, but I'm hoping.
The paranormal channel cannot even be monetized.
Wow.
Well, somebody would have to technically donate it through a PayPal or something. So we don't make $0.
No, but you know, I gotta happily say, I mean, there's no stead. I don't even have the thing up on there anymore. But you know how many shows I've done where people, I mean, and when I say people donate, it's beer. I buy beer and I buy cigarettes. I buy a 30-pack, and I buy, now when I say cigarettes, I don't mean the ones with chemicals. I only smoke, just for the record, it's tobacco. It's made of tobacco and water. It's they're all natural. There's no chemicals, no nothing. Everyone says you smoke a lot. It's tobacco and water. In fact, I can go the whole day or two. I fast for like 2-3 days without smoking.
Yeah.
Because there's not very much. My nicotine addiction isn't very high because there's not very much in there with just pure tobacco and water. They add all those other chemicals to it, which is what you're addicted to. So I smoke basically just tobacco and water cigarettes. That's the healthiest version if you could smoke at all. And I have no issues with it at all. And again, when I hit my donations, I get my tobacco and water cigarettes and a 30-pack of beer, and I do a show. And so people are like, I want you to. I
don't know how you can. I don't know how. And you just. Sorry, I hope this is not out of line saying this, but you can just take a beer and in 2 seconds it's gone. I don't know.
Yeah, it's gone.
I'd be rushed to the hospital. I actually don't drink at all because I can't handle it. Well, we won't even go there.
Well, I do 30 in like one sitting. And there was even a bar. There's a guy, there was a bar in Spain, and they were all trying to match me beer for beer. Like, so they're watching my show, and my show will go on like 6 to 7 hours because it's 30 beers. And they'll try to match me beer from beer, and they sent me a thing that says nobody. everybody was done after the third hour.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, you must have an amazing constitution. I don't know how you
Very
do
high.
it, but you're highly entertaining.
Yeah.
And so I recommend those out there that are my viewers, whether you're watching the replay or whether you're watching well, I guess you would be listening on an audio, but please do go down to the description and sub up to these guys, and you'll definitely be entertained. The other thing too I want to say about both of you is you're really good men. And I went through some troubled times with another podcaster, we won't mention any names, and Eric, you were absolutely there for me, and I really, really appreciate it, because not everybody out there has a good heart. You guys have good hearts, and I think that's the really important thing. Okay, we're coming to the end. We're coming to the end of the show. But I want you both to take a few minutes, just tell everybody what you're up to, invite, everybody to what you're doing, and let people know where they can reach you. And if you could say where people could find you, even though it's in the description, because some people be listening to this on an audio while they're driving their car, whatever. It's good just to get that in. So I just turn it back over to you guys, and anything else you missed or I forgot to ask.
It's going to be this 2026 is going to be an interesting year, and part of the reason is a lot more doors are going to open up for Bob and I. Part of the reason Bob's doing a final thing coming up in February where he's going to get a special card like I have. Yeah. You're like, what's so special about a card? It's a card that allow us to fly around the world for free.
Wow.
For free. And we're, as of right now, be able to be on any military base that we want. So we're going to have certain access that other people ain't going to have.
Yeah,
and Bob's getting his in February. I already got mine.
Yeah.
And so, we're going to be able one day to say, hey, we're going to go to Australia. We're going to go to Japan. We're going to go here. And it's going to be all technically paid for by the government. I mean, it's weird. I don't know. Some people are like, does that mean you guys are shells? No, it's just how we worked it out.
Yeah.
And so we're going to be doing a lot more investigation because, again, I am retired from like the regular 9 to 5 thing. I'm finally retired. So now that's why I'm back on YouTube. There's more flexibility. There's more freedom. So once Bob gets his thing, we're going to work some things out. So just like how we went to the mountains, in 2025, we're going to go to the Olympic Mountains. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. I'm working on getting an RV mobile to start. Because also another benefit, Bob and I could stay at any single federal park for free.
Oh, incredible.
So, so there's a lot of things that we're going to be able to do. And it's all going to start this year. Now, once Bob gets the card, we have to build it now, make the plan, schedule things out. But it's coming.
Yeah.
And anybody knows when we film things, we're just doing it having fun. We're not like trying to make a documentary. Even though we call it a documentary, but it's like our type of documentary. Yeah. So all those people who don't like seeing Bob drink a beer doing ghost hunt, then you might want to watch another channel. Because
I'm smoking a joint during the ghost hunt.
The difference about our investigation and everybody else is everybody pretends to be serious. And not that we're not serious. We like to have fun doing it.
Yeah.
Because if you're having fun, you want to keep doing it. If you try to make everything serious, because you've seen this, Karen, there's channels that seem like every single time they go out on investigation, they always got something.
Oh, yeah.
Bob and I would tell you, this last Bigfoot hunt, the trip was fun, but evidence of Bigfoot, we saw like none.
Yeah, except for that big stick. That weird walking stick.
But we understood there was a big, huge fire in California, so things have changed.
Yeah.
And this is just a personal opinion. I think what's going to make Washington even more of a primal spot, I think a lot of these Bigfoot Sasquatch have moved. And they're moving more northwest because there's more mountains in Oregon, Washington, and Canada. And I think we're going to have more luck where we're at. And we're going to film. If we catch something, great. If we don't, we don't. We'll put it out, and we're not gonna.
It's the journey, man. It's the journey.
Yeah.
And we're not
Yeah.
gonna take it.
And
Now-
I don't know if you know Tennessee, Kentucky Bigfoot, but he and his son Matt, they're very respectful to the Bigfoots, and they go out and they leave fruit and apples and all kinds of trinkets for them, and then they go back to see if they were claimed, and often they are. So I don't know. That's just another resource for you. He's awesome.
Every time we go to a
him and
place
his
called the
son.
Devil's Hand, Bob always brings a gift to say, "Hey,
Yeah.
we're just here. You know, don't harm us."
Tobacco.
Mhm.
And all that. Now, to find us, like Bob has several channels. Of course, I have several channels. The main paranormal channel, the Bigfoot channel, is if you type in Gypsy Road Mysteries, it'll take you right there. If you're into 70s, 80s type of genre music, then you can go to my Hair Metal Revolution channel, where we talk mostly 80s and 70s. I don't care about 90s and 2000s and all that. I even live in Seattle, and I shit on grunge on that channel, on my channel. Even though I live in Seattle, the birth of grunge, I shit on it. So if you're into that music kind of genre, go there. If you're into ghost, paranormal, anything, because paranormal channel, we talk everything.
Yeah.
It's just not Bigfoot. It's just not UFOs. It's everything.
I like polka. I like polka.
Yeah.
Okay, you mean the dancing?
Yeah, I like polka. I like punk polka.
Punk polka. Wow, never heard of that. That sounds like fun. I'll get on my low cut bell bottoms and my fringe vest and my sandals. I'll come down to Seattle, see you guys.
I already got a half a tent pitched. Okay, you do that. It got real quiet, didn't it?
Well, I actually I'm from the lower mainland of BC originally, in Vancouver Island, which is not that far. I used to drive down to Seattle and visit friends all the time when I was younger. Now I'm in Alberta freezing my tukas off, but it needs to go anyway. So
I do gotta say real quick, Daniela wrote the word Otterman, and I don't know if you watched that episode, Daniela. We can't talk about Otterman no more. We learned some things about that we can't talk about.
Yeah, we did not know it was part of the community, of a specific community, and we didn't know we were insulting that community by saying we're hunting Otterman. So now we're hunting otter person.
Otter person. I see. So I don't know what this is about your flying burrito, but it says tell her about your flying burrito.
I know what he wants me to ask.
Music.
Okay, it's a Mandela effect. It's a massive one. Okay, so there's a band. You're from the day. You're out there. You've been out in the crazy world like that stuff from way back when in the 70s. And in 70s, there was a band called the Flying Burrito Brothers, and they're a pretty damn good band. They're really good 70s music. They're really up there, and a lot of the young hipsters are really into the Flying Burrito Brothers. But here's the thing. I've never heard of them. I heard their music, and it's good, and I go, there's no way in hell I did not hear of them. No one's ever heard of them. Danny Staten's never heard of them. He's heavily into music. Have you, Karen, heard of the Flying Burrito Brothers?
No, I don't think so.
So there's this mysterious band that has been there. It's been out there. They're up there. They're right next to right next to all that old 70s really good rock, really good music. They're like, they're out there, and they're well known. And I go, I've never heard of them. And so I have a tour shirt that I wear. I walk around with, anthropologically speaking, I walk around with it, and no person our age or older or whatever has ever heard of them. Like, who are they? I said, don't you know them? They've been out since the 70s. They're a big band. I mean, they're a big band. The young people somehow have known them, have always known them, but the older people have not ever heard of them. And so what Danny Staten says, basically saying, have you ever heard of the Flying Burrito Brothers, Karen? And it's apparently not.
Nope. Doesn't ring a bell. I do remember the Furry Freak Brothers. And
there you go.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys know what that is, but that was the kind of stuff I used to like to read. But anyway, we're quickly running out of time, and I don't want to cut you guys off. I want to let you finish. If there's anything else we missed, I hope you guys will come back. Especially when you're on the road, that'd be really fun. I don't know if you can live stream with me when you're on the road, but whatever, I would love to have you back. You're both very entertaining, very interesting, and you're really good guys. And I'm so glad you're my friends. And thank you so much for coming on the show today. I really appreciate it.
Mary Island stuff because there's internet out there on that island. So yeah, we could. There's some places we can live stream. Usually the Bigfoot hunts, you're way up in the mountain. There's no signal, but there's some stuff we can live stream.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
We're more than willing to come with you.
Oh, good. We'll have a great time. So it's time for us to say goodbye. I want to thank everybody in the live chat, whether they're from your audience, my audience, or another audience altogether. I appreciate each and every one of you. You really add another dimension to the show. You make it so much fun. I love including you guys. Please come back. And also those that are watching the replay or those that are listening to this on an audio, I recommend coming over and watching it.
And they're going to watch us tomorrow on our channel.
Oh, are you? Awesome. Oh, awesome. So yeah. And when I have you guys on, please feel free to also stream to what you're doing. It's all good. And, we're all in this together. So I guess that's about it for today. Yeah. And so I guess we'll just say goodbye to everybody. And I always have trouble saying goodbye because I have so much fun. But anyway, love to everybody. Take care. Bye-bye for now. Thank you for joining me for the Quantum Guide Show. Become the change that you wish to see in the world. Subscribe to my YouTube and other channels at Karen Holton TV. Click the like button, leave me a comment, and share this podcast with your friends. Read about my true life ET contact in my book called Transdimensional: Meet the New Neighbors, which is now available in Amazon bookstores worldwide. Check out my website at www.KarenHoltonHealthCoach.com to see my free resources and amazing products and services. All the links will be in the description below. As part of the Forbidden Knowledge Network, you will find the Quantum Guide Show with Karen Holton and also the Aliens and Angels podcast on all audio platforms. Until next time, keep up the good work.